Nomad, nomad, nomad. Everybody wants to see the Nomad and get back doing work on it. Well, I hate to tell you, it's not happening today. I have a plan, and then we'll get back on the Nomad. This is the plan. Wow, look at this freaking garage, how good it looks. Now, we're basically May long weekend. We're coming up to it. Power Tour is June 10th, or I don't know, something around there. It's coming up fast. Now, originally we thought maybe we'd take the Nomad, and then I kind of switched gears a little while ago because I was getting burnt out on that car. I could have kept jamming on it and had it all together, especially now, even now I could. Jam it all together and be ready to go for Power Tour, but have 0 test miles on it, which I'm not a big fan of. Now, not this car, but this drivetrain was originally meant for Power Tour in Danny's car 2 years ago, before the sickness. So, as you guys know, unless you're new here, LS powered, Turbo 400, all rebuilt, ready to go, 57 Chevy. I think this is what we're gonna take. Now, I've been driving this thing since the fall. I drove it all winter. On the cold days I didn't, but we drove it a fair bit. We enjoyed it. It's probably got, I don't know, 1,000 or 1,500 miles on it since I put it all together at least, which is good. So I mean, it is somewhat tested, somewhat ready to go. There are a lot of fine-tuning things I want to get taken care of. And more importantly, I need a little bit of your guys' help. I need to know what I should prepare for this road trip. We never gone on a road trip this long, and sure as hell not this far away. We're all the way up in Canada, so we got a 20-hour drive to the start of it, followed by however many, whatever it is, 1,500 miles, 1,200 miles, 1,000 miles in the old Hotrod, followed by the drive back. We're gonna be on our lonesome. I mean, I'm sure some people will help us out when we're broke down the side of the road, because they'll feel bad for us poor Canadians. But we're gonna need to do a lot of love to this thing. Now, I'm fairly confident in the motor and transmission. It has a brand new alternator and stuff. I want to put a water pump on it, or at least grab a spare water pump, a few spare things. At least with the LS-based stuff, you can find that along the road. The 400, like I said, it's completely rebuilt. My real concern is that their rear end. Now, it is the factory rear end. Doesn't really make any noise. It does leak out of one axle seal. Now, these things here, the seal and bearing are all one piece. I did get a new set of those. So I'm gonna bring that. I also bought in this garbage bag, which has been sitting here for about a month, another rear end out of some sort of a Tri-5 or Corvette or whatever. They're all the same from 55 to 62 or something. And it is a posi unit. It's a 336 rear end, so not the greatest. I think they went to 308 maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so we'll be buzzing on the highway a little bit, but my plan is go through this one, put new bearings on the axles, and then I'll have a spare diff, because this diff in it is fine, not making any noise. I don't know what one I'll use. The one I pull out might be the exact same as this, but if this is a posi and the other one isn't, we'll run that, try it. And then we'll have some spare parts. I want to bring a spare axle. Everything else I think we can fix on the road. Obviously tools and stuff like that we got taken care of. I want door panels, I want garnish moldings, because we don't have any of that. I might want to clear out the winter's worth of junk. The seats, they'll be mounted a little bit better. Let's make it a nice cruiser, right? So that's the plan. I have my art guy coming by, because I do want this thing lettered up. So he's going to look at it today. You know, we're going to put DD Speed Shop, you know, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, fuel injected, a few things like that. I don't know what's going to go on this thing. Under the hood, obviously we have some wiring and all that to kind of take care of. Somebody had a snowplow on this thing and just kind of zip tied everything together. So it needs a little bit of love. But you know what? The heater works, the lights work, it's got a new wiring harness front to back, it's got air motive fuel tank, it's got all the goodies. All rebuilt front end. So we're just gonna give it a once over first, and then my plan is hopefully the first weekend in June to take this thing on a road trip to my buddy Josh's in Saskatchewan. That's like 8-9 hours away, so we can go check out his 55 Chevy for Miles of Mayhem, that dragon drive we're gonna do. But anyways, let's start taking this thing apart and start making a list. All right, so look at all this crap we got. A little bit of garbage. I'd always, I had this toolkit just, how does this work? What have I done here? Maybe it just opens? I had this toolkit in there just because I assumed, oh, come on, Amazon. You never know when you're gonna need it. Oh, it looks like I did use it at some point. So, oh yeah, that's my style, rusty, left out. So I had that just in case, which is pretty handy. Obviously, tools are gonna be top of the list. I think we're gonna just go through what I had in the car, then we'll make a list after I go over my couple of ideas. What else we got going on there? Well, I found this stuff. I originally got this, so I didn't have a polisher at the time. It's for cutting the glass. Because this glass, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's got this film on it. Unfortunately, over the winter time, it friggin' cracked. I guess just from being hot, cold. Made it 60 some odd years. I have it for a very short amount of time and ruin it. That is the way she goes. Oh, a lot of people, I have a glove box door, speaker grill, all that sort of stuff. Actually, man, I forgot I even had these. One of you guys sent them, which I really appreciate. These are like old school, I think they were originally gonna go on this car, but just the way the fenders are, they were gonna cut it right down. So we'll put this on one time with the wrecker in it. Oh, I bought all this stuff. Originally, I was gonna spray this. I did a bunch of Googling, much like Project Farm, and this is supposed to be like the best corrosion resistant stuff you spray on, and it just sat in the box all winter. Everyone was panicked. I had lost the fuel injection emblems and the flags, which again, one of you guys sent the flags. Man, these are like brand new. Anyways, all I did was I drilled the holes and I had kind of friction fit them in there. So when I was actually driving it, I took them off because I didn't quite know what I was going to do, if I was going to paint this thing or mess around or polish. Now it's stuck. So let's just go with like those sheet metal kind of clips in the back, and it's way up because you can't get it from the trunk. You got to go from underneath. There's no wheel tubs. Pain. We found our couple of mismatched garnish moldings. One's black, one's green. Snow brushes, because of course you need snow brushes. And there we have it. So, I mean, I think it's cleaned out, kind of ready to go. One thing, which again, I'm trying to appeal to the, or I guess get guidance out of the Power Tour aficionados. I think I'm gonna take the back seat right out of this thing. It's just me and Danny. So we're gonna pull the back seat out, pull out the full trunk and the back seat. I think this thing has, the door locks work. I don't have a key for it. So I should get a set of keys. So let's get those off Amazon or eBay. So I can actually lock this thing, not that it really matters. But then we have our tools and stuff more than anything. I built for last year a little circulating pump with ice water and built some shirts for like an old, like a cheap version of a Cool Shirt or whatever it's called, because this thing has no air conditioning. And if it's hot, we can kind of run that. So cooler in the back with some snacks and drinks and all that. My tools in the back, toss our luggage in the trunk. We're set. This is the rear end. Now that it's out, it's a little crusty, a little rust on it, but whatever. But these units here, I mean, just the fact it's a pause, I think it'd be $300 for this, $200, I forget. But the fact it's a pause unit alone, if you guys look up Tri-5 Posy, man, they gouge you for it. And I mean, I just play with it. Doesn't have a whole lot of play in it, so we'll see what the other one is. Unfortunately, I thought it was a different gear ratio. It says right on it, 3711, so that's a 336, which is a really common one of these things, so that's probably what's in it. But we got to pull the axles out anyways, so we'll see what it has, and if it has a taller one or shorter one or whatever it may be, Basically, I just wanted a spare. So that's that. Under the hood, pretty good. I don't have a wiper motor, which I do have to figure that out because I took it out because it was kind of tight in there. And yeah, well, Rain-X works, right? So let's get the camera set up. We'll put a little cardboard up and we'll see exactly what the hell I think we need for a list of Power Tour prep. Okay, so I got a little bit of packing stuff in one of those boxes. So we got to go Power Tour list. Man, my writing's good. Now, I think we should go with level of importance. In my mind, now again, if I'm missing something, comment, put a comment there. I need your help. So first off is Wicked Cool paint job. Wicked Cool lettering. That's number one. Then we have the rear end. Rear end and axles. I do have a, like I said, I got a spare axle, so I'm going to toss one of those in the trunk too, and a spare rear end, so I should be good on that. We got to address the wiring, the windshield. Wipers, I guess, is pretty important. What else did I just say? Oh yeah, the seats, I want to make sure those are all, whoops, something fell off there. Get that all dialed together, make that nice. It does have a heater, it has all those things. I was going to check the wheel bearings. That's all brand new. And we'll grease the front end, again, all brand new. But hey, it's probably time to just do a nut and bolt on this thing. It has, like, double check everything. We've got some miles on it, but let's make sure it works. Oh yeah, door locks. That's a good one. And even a trunk lock. You know what? I don't think this thing, I in fact open it with a screwdriver. So that'll be kind of all taken care of. I'm sure I'm saying things, but I already forgot. Oh yeah, interior, man. We'll just go ahead and leave that very, very wide open as interior, but I mean, that's door panels. This thing does have a set of rear cards in it, but not wrapped. And I think it has all the handles and stuff on it. If not, I think I have some. We can get all that dialed together. And I guess I'll kind of go with the seats too. We'll go ahead and make sure that's all on there. I can't think there's a whole lot else. Spare tire, I don't have one of those. You know, I'm gonna put tools on here, and honestly, this is where we're gonna check the YouTube comments. What do you think I should get? Now, the problem with this thing is the LS motor, I need a varying kit of metric and stuff like that. Oh, nuts and bolts, I guess, would be good too. Nuts, bolts, electrical connectors. That's all important too. Man, my writing is good. So I think that's kind of the overall list we're gonna go with for right now that I'm kind of thinking of. I'll probably add more to it as we go, and I really hope you guys can help me out in the comment section with all that sort of stuff. The exhaust is good. It's all good front to back. I mean, it's got new floor, new bushings in it, all the lights work. What else could you possibly need? I think I do have a set of lenses I might put on there. It's brand new lenses. The headlights, all that work. Signals work. We got gas tank, fuel gauge. And actually the speedo, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. When it doesn't, it just makes a bunch of grinding noise. So I think it's probably just dirty inside there. If I take it all apart, clean it, put it back together, it'd be perfect. I actually do have a spare. I was gonna use it for the convertible, but if we have to do this, we can play musical dashboards, 'cause that's pretty simple. I mean, really, I might be overthinking it. This is basically kind of a redone car or whatever, but what's gonna be nice, after doing that convertible, now I'm convinced myself I like having finished cars. So the convertible's gonna be nice, Nomad's gonna be nice. This will be nice in its own way, where I think if it has the patina paint job, which I know a lot of people are, you know, humming and hawing on, but it's what I want. This is my car, my driver. The patina paint, once we get it lettered, Buddy said he could paint it kind of distressed. So this thing will look like it's an old NASCAR. It's been sitting in a barn for however many years and come out, and then someone put 5-lug wheels on it instead of 6, which everyone lets me know every time I drive it. Yeah, and then it'll look kind of cool. But then we have the interior dialed together, and everything will be brand new, wired up nice, all that sort of stuff, and we'll be taken care of. Air conditioning will be nice, overdrive will be nice. I gotta see what I can do about those things. But in the meantime, let's get this thing up in the air. I'll probably just pull the axles. I think we'll end the video on that, just so I can take those out and get them dropped off. Let's be honest, I kind of want this video out right away before I start working too much, because I want your opinion. So please, don't hold back, unless they're mean comments. I don't know what happened today. The night just got away from me, it started raining. Turns out the concrete guys coming over to do the driveway, and that's all just kind of, everything's going faster. Anyway, I started working on the car a little bit more. I got back out here. So check this out. I don't know if you can see or not on the windshield. So look, that's what we were working with. It's all kind of stained and stuff. And that's not just like dirt or anything. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't come off. So I ordered this stuff off Amazon a while ago, and I tried hand polishing it. That was crazy. Optical grade cutting polish and this fancy new polisher. So I did this side, and it's still very lightly there, but you know what? It's pretty good, and I think really work at it. I mean, it feels a lot smoother. I can't believe there's a crack in this glass. It's such a hassle. So what I thought we'd do, we'll do the other half real quick. We're gonna have to do the back window, and I'll put on the list front windshield. The problem is this is a green tint one, which I don't know if I can get easily or not. But we'll see. If I have time, we'll change the windshield. It's not even about money. It's about time and where you want to spend it and all that sort of stuff. This windshield will absolutely break coming out. So I want to make sure if I can get another one or two, wherever I need, because you need a windshield before you go on a road trip. On the back here, same thing. It's all, you know, beat up. The lighting's so good you can't even see it. So anyways, we'll set the camera up. We'll do this one side, well, the other side, I should say, and we'll call her kind of done for now. I met the the paint guy, so he's gonna got a few ideas there. Well, I told him the ideas. Be back in a couple of days, well, next week sometime. I think I'll do a video on that. It'd be kind of cool, old school lettering. But let's polish this windshield. First thing I'm gonna do with a brand new polisher, instead of polishing my hot rod that I just painted, wanted to wet sand and get orange peel out, we're gonna polish a 65-year-old windshield, which is delaminating and all junk and stuff like that. Look at that, garbage. God, I love garbage. I don't know if you guys will be able to see anything on that. I mean, the glass looks pretty good actually on the viewfinder. What's going on here? But, okay, I'm struggling. So I looked on YouTube, of course. What is going on? On YouTube, where else would you check for where to get the best products? Well, there we go. And this is what they recommended. A few people I saw some videos. They weren't doing this kind of stuff. They're doing like little tiny scratches. But let's be honest, we'll just put a little bit more of this goop. Whoops, that was a little bit much. Let's put some back in there. And we'll buff this all up, make it look nice. At least it'll be drivable. A stone chip too. Man, driving in the winter, eh? So, we'll see. Now, this thing, man, this thing wails. It's got like a little adjuster thing, so you can turn her way down in RPM and then speed her up. So that's throwing stuff everywhere. So, let's see what happens. So that's what we kind of end up with. Man, I got another. Man, I was hard on this thing. Or maybe it came that way. But the bottom is where it was the worst. It's still there. It's definitely not perfect, but 1,000 times better than it was. Now, again, the windshield's not even about the money. It's the screw-up factor and the time factor. So we'll see. We'll wipe this all down. We'll try driving it. It really drove me nuts at night. In the evening, when you're oncoming traffic, the light would get in there and get all gibbled, so it's a pain. I don't think we're doing a whole lot of night driving, but you never know. So it might be worth ordering a windshield for this. I got to get the windshield for the Nomad still for my buddies. Hopefully they're still my buddies at Auto City and Classics there. So I might just toss a windshield in there while we're at it. But at least if we can get the rear glass to look like that, we're golden. A nice new windshield, there's really not much better than that. So I'll finish wiping this down. It does feel a heck of a lot smoother. So I'm sure enough elbow grease from Murr down the road, he can get that figured out. And I think next time you see it, we'll have the rear wheels up in the air and we'll try and pull the center section out, see what gear set we have, and go from there. It's a bit ugly, you gotta knock the axles out, which they can be a bear. So we might end on a win or a fail, who knows? So we got the thing up in the air. Classic 57 Chevy, you have to let the suspension hang and then wrestle your tire out, which barely fits, but that's what looks cool. Anyway, so here are, the main issue I want to change this bearing is we have a axle seal leak as demonstrated by the brand new drums with greasy hypoid all over them, which is not good. Now, the way these work are kind of similar to a Ford. Now, I don't want to say that exact. I'm not 100% exactly on how Fords work, but there are, see that plate there? There's 4 studs that retain the axle into the rear end. Now, again, as I showed earlier, these style rear ends, they do go in like a 4/9 inch from the front. So you have to knock the axles out. Now, they're in there pretty good. I believe in the axle there's like a little clip or something like that, or like a spring clip that kind of holds it in place, along with what I'm sure is 65 years of holding. Ooh, that sounded kind of funny. Anyway, The trick to get these out, well, the trick I saw on the internet, you take out one of the studs, see at the top there? So the way these work, they're a stud, goes in like that, they bolt on through the backing plate. Now what we're gonna do, where I put it, you want your Craftsman screwdriver. We're gonna take this Craftsman screwdriver, can I get it through without getting my hair all caught? Man, the filming is pretty good today. So anyways, we're gonna jam this Craftsman screwdriver through there, like that. It's gonna be on the axle flange, and we're gonna beat the snot out of this end with that there hammer, and it may turn into be a bigger hammer to get the success we want and pop it out. Now, there are ways, you guys, you put the drum on backwards, you put a chain on it and give it a, well, might need a wheel stud while we're at it, or at least a little zap on the backside. A chain, you can kind of whip it and pull it out. I've done this, I saw this on the internet, and honestly, it worked out pretty good. So, you want to give her the old shake test, because before you're in there smacking around with a hammer, man, look at all this. I should have done this a while ago. Anyway, let's commence hammering. Well, hopefully this is a good angle and I still look good. Let's give it a few samples, see if she just wants to come out. I don't feel like we're gonna be lucky. And we might be getting the bigger hammer. Holy. All right, sledgehammer. Maybe it's caught one of these. I do have a lock washer in there. Maybe that's a problem. All right, I think it was one of these. Was caught, and it was just kind of twisting a little bit. So the axle looks like it actually kind of came out. Let's see if the rest of it will come out. There we go. Bam. That was much easier. So now, pull this sucker out. It's just that easy. Oh. 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 This is pretty good. So, you guys were in the car for a few of these rides, bear in mind. Ooh. But this thing has completely piled up. This strapping is not supposed to come out like that. And it's just little ball bearings. I guess, at the end of the day, they're still in there. Like, there's a few, a little gappy. So the way it works, there's the bearing, and then this is just, I think, a little retainer, which all came in the kit. And on this side, I guess I should have just shown you a new bearing, but there's a little gasket right there on the edge, and then there's the seal on the other side. I don't feel like that's what you want, maybe, but anyway, so these axles are famous for braking. They're just 14 spline. These rear ends, it is, or has happened, where the axle breaks and it launches, I guess, right out the car or something like that. I don't know, maybe it breaks right at the end. I'm not really too sure. So, pretty simple little setup. I'll get the other side dialed. It looks like there might be a little bit of junk in here. Oh, yeah, that's not great. I assume that's just the, where's my screwdriver? Let's go on a little archaeological screwdriver hunt. You probably don't want all this stuff in the, oh, is that even metal? No. Oh, what is this? The seal. This looks, what is that? I don't know what that is. A lot of metal, so that's a bonus. So we'll clean up in there real nice. This obviously should have had a seal on it, which it did, but it's all junk, so we'll silicone that. That's just more of a dust seal. I'll pull the other axle out. We'll get these taken in, and I'll just, well, I guess I could press them on here, but I like taking to a guy who charges me like 40 bucks. Get that all taken care of. Anyway, oh, that was a lot of work. It's been a long day, and we got a bunch more to go tomorrow. So I think that's where we're gonna leave it. Windshield's kind of dialed. Rear window, we'll get that taken care of. Thank God I pulled that all apart. I think we'll leave it here. We'll start the next video. I'll pull the other axle, but then we'll jack it up, pull the center section out, make sure it's good. Probably have to clean all that junk out. Based on the condition of the oil, I obviously never changed that either. So this is my only concern, that rear end. But if we put new bearings in, new seals, and I mean, if we have a spare, I actually think I have yet another spare of these, just an open one. But hopefully when we pull out, it's in decent shape. I mean, honestly, this thing didn't growl or make any noises, so that is shocking. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, do me a favor and subscribe below. But more importantly, leave me a comment on what you think I should prepare for on Power Tour, because I'm just kind of winging it. And honestly, in the next few videos, I'll keep asking that. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.